McDonald's is a place to rock. It is a restaurant where they buy food to eat. It is a good place to listen to the music. People flock here to get down to the rock music. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. McDonald's will make you fat. They serve Big Macs. They serve quarter pounders. They will put pounds on you. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. McDonald's hamburgers are the worst. They are worse than Burger King. A Big Mac has 26 grams of fat. A quarter pounder has 28 grams of fat. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock over London. Rock on Chicago. Wheaties represent champions.
Busting down my neighbor's door, I Welcome to the Friday Nights. I'm Jason Sandberg. Fellas, I had a great week. Look at what came in the mail. Check it out. The Atlantean 1 and 2 by our friends Randy and Russ.
I haven't read 2 yet. I have it, but
oh man,
I read Shadow Kingdom and 1. Yeah, Russ Leach.
The artwork in here is just it is just. Can I show that page?
Yeah, we had them on the show with these books too, and they're still going on issue 3 now. They're like they haven't stopped. They're just
wow.
I'm hoping there's like 2 of these a year or whatever. Just nice because it's a thick book. It's like a Savage Sword of Conan. And again, Randy and Russ, you're welcome to come back on the show again. Please come back on the show again.
Yeah, they set the standard for Arrow Comics. Like that has got to be our flagship, the flagship title of Arrow Comics. Hands down.
Yeah, it's a beauty. It's a beauty. It's got the logo on there. Just a beauty. Great guys, great project, and I hope they keep doing it, and I hope they come back on again for issue 3.
Yep, for sure.
As always, I'm hard at work on Jupiter issue 2. Jupiter issue 1 is in demand. I found my comic at Indiegogo. I do have a somewhat important announcement to make.
Nice.
While Jupiter issue 2 is like 80% done, given some things that are happening at work at my very important day job, I don't know if I'll be able to launch the campaign until like December or January. It's getting pushed out. I can't go into all the details, but things are happening at work where I will not have the time to do all the campaign trailers and get all my ducks in a row and all that kind of stuff.
Going on other people's shows, the 60 days campaigning,
doing the touring and stuff like that. And to be clear, I'm doing fantastic at my job at work, but there's other people who have really dropped the ball, and it's a situation where like, okay, I'm gonna have to do something, and I have been working like 6 or 7 days a week. The past 7 months, I've been working 6 or 7 days a week at my day job. I've been putting 110% in. Let me just say, there's some people that are not giving it their all, and I hope that I have a saying. The saying is, you can't change human nature, but you can change the org chart. So I'm hoping some of these people get cleared out. They know who they are. I don't. But
you just got to give people direct tasks. This is you. This is what you're responsible for. Go do that now and report back to me when it's done. Say, put the army stuff in there.
There you go. But anyways, the situation at work, it's in a fragile state, and like for the next 4 to 5 months, it's going to continue to be this grind. So I will continue to work on Jupiter issue 2 in every spare minute I've got, but I cannot go into the marketing and all that kind of stuff until I'm ready. Now, the good news is issue 2 will be over 50 pages. Over 50 pages.
Oh, wow.
So while you had to wait 2 years for issue 2, it's like, would you rather wait 2 years to get issue 2 for 50 pages or get 25 pages a year? I think this is a better deal. So stay tuned for more updates, but it's not, I'm very skeptical it's going to happen this year, but when you do get the second issue, it's going to knock your socks off.
What about throwing out that issue 0, throwing everything you can together for that?
I want to make that an add-on for issue 2, but that's a good idea. But I'm going to make it an add-on.
You know what? That's honestly better for your backers because they're not getting killed with shipping. So a lot of times I hold out on creators. It's actually not because I don't like the book. It's because I know more are coming. So it's like I know, you know what I mean? If I just wait another year, I'll save $30 on shipping for him, and if I save 30 for them, 30 for him, or 20 for him, 30 for him, how many more campaigns can I back with that? So one of those. But did I tell you Michael Bancroft's coming back on?
Yes, that'd be cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So we should have the date here because someone's going. Oh, there it is. I brought the sheet. I kept it here. 25 July. Bancroft's on. So I'm finally going to back the Lucent 1, 2, and 3 now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I've been wanting them the whole time.
Yeah, they're great books.
I took his book to check out 3 separate occasions. Once when he was trying to ship it from Australia, and the shipping was like 40 and the book was 25. I was like, I'm out of here. The second time, it was on my end. I couldn't get my cards to work, so it wouldn't process the fucking transaction. So like I said, and literally that's all it takes, right? And then here we are, how many years later, right? So. Yeah. But as for myself, Jason, just more summer stuff. we plant tomato plants and various like dill and stuff like that. So visited the garden center today. That was my exciting thing for the week. Bottle stuff. So a lot of gardening. Like I said, I'm just working on the house and enjoying the summer. But my book that I read right before the show is this one here.
Oh, that looks familiar.
Yeah. It's a beautiful book, and yeah, it's going to be interesting when I get to the reward tiers. I have so many questions I want to ask about this book, Chris. But the artist on it, I'm not familiar with the artist, but his work is fantastic.
Awesome, yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's Antonio Brandeo.
Yes,
yeah,
and you guys work well, obviously, and enjoy working together. Yeah, it's a great book, and yeah, read through it, and I'm excited to ask various questions when we get to your campaign. But how was your week, Chris?
Well, I mean, I guess we could talk about the campaign stuff later, but because that was like super awesome. But as far as like everything else, yeah, we've finally started getting good weather. I'm a fan of the summers, so like the weather's actually getting warm again. Right. And dude, I'm with you on the gardening stuff. Like I'm on a condo, so I don't really own property, but I do have flower boxes and stuff. So I love growing like produce.
Yep.
So hell yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, we just found out me and Chris live in closer proximity than we realized.
Yeah.
always learn new stuff every day. But with that, you wanna jump into the chat and see who's on?
Yeah, let's see who's here.
All right. So first and foremost, Vulcan was there. Said happy Friday to you as well, Vulcan. So Vulcan has been here with me and Jason since episode 1 of the show and has been here pretty much every single episode, and we're on episode 96.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
And we're gonna, when we do our 2-year anniversary show, we'll definitely have him on. So Vulcan, you got a couple months to get your camera ready, but we'll have you on the show.
Ready for my close-up.
Here's Chris, our guest handle. So please click on that. Subscribe. I just subscribed to your channel again, finding your video, and I was like, "What? I'm unsubscribed." I was like, "What the hell?" So I subscribed again.
Sweet.
I don't know if you watch that stuff. I try not to because it gets depressing. Like I was up to 416 on my channel, then it goes back to 410, then it goes to 415, then it goes to 412.
They're messing with you.
It's just like I'm not watching it anymore.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the 420 stream. We're 6 away from the 420 stream. So
all right.
Crenshaw's here. He says, "Hey gang."
Hey.
Yeah, thank you so much, Crenshaw.
Man.
Yeah. So yeah, here we are, another episode of Friday Nights, Chris. Great to have you back.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Man.
See, Jason's tired from his
job. It's been guys, you guys got no idea. You got no idea. There's been like 2 weeks ago I was there till midnight.
Oh,
midnight.
Yeah. Well, I know what that's like. But at least you don't have what we have in the military, where I'll be given an organization that was a mess, and it's like, fix this place. Yeah. And I'll put all the systems and all the stuff and assign all the responsibilities and create all the work orders. It'll be a well-oiled machine. Look what I've created. And then they put some nincompoop in behind me who just, I do it all my way. Hulk smash. And then like, what you do to the fucking department that I go over here and fix this problem now? So it didn't take very long for me to become very disenfranchised.
Yeah.
That's why you're in the right place. You've got your little Soltac cottage industry. You can run it how you want to run it, and no one can tell you what to do, and no one can come in there and F it up. So you're in a good place now.
Yeah, man.
Chris, did you ever read Soltac? Just out of curiosity, not trying to put you on the spot or anything. This isn't the.
I think I read the first one. I have not read any of the additional ones. You're on what, 3 or 4?
I'm on issue 5 now. Actually.
Oh, 5. Oh, damn.
So I will be campaigning again sometime in the future. So
cool.
So if you don't mind, I'll show you some cool stuff. I mean, this isn't a new update. Anyone who saw this last show, I already did this, but I figured I'd do this again because this is the one cool. It's cool when you work on something, you can finally show it to people.
Yeah.
So my main character, Mishatsu, that was her armor set on the left. That was the original vision. I wanted like a futuristic samurai style. But when we went through it, you couldn't see any AAT, right? There was no, you couldn't, it was like I'm trying to hide her physical form behind armor, right? And it's like, And that was a big complaint. It's like, you can't see her goods. It's like, what the hell? So Gonzalo and I recreated her character design. You see now she's more, lively. Wish I'd done it from the beginning. So here you go. Here's a double page splash. I'm gonna offer this. A. Yeah, there you go. See what I'm saying? We have these conversations. So you see, she's gonna fight my main character Dexter again, and this time they're like in their final form. Again, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so if you think like the Jedi being like apprentice and then knights and then like masters, that shit you see it in Soul Tack. This fucker's just recreating Star Wars basically the way he likes it, right? Which is kind of true, but so they're gonna face off with each other again. I'm not sure if this happens.
Whoa!
Man, yeah, I know. Yeah. Nice.
Whoa! That just hit me in the face.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this is going to happen in issue 5 or issue 6, though. I haven't caught up with the writing to know if they actually fight each other in the 5th issue. But I'm gonna write 5 and 6 back to back. I'm just not going to stop. Nice. And then my covers all got redressed. Basically, between Randy, I think it was Jason that pointed it out. He was the one that told me like your title font, you need to make that bigger. So. And even though that sounds like a simple task, it's not. It's work. It's a lot of work. So me and Gonzalo went back. So my new issue, these are my floppies. I'm doing floppies. I know everyone loves trades. I will get there after issue 6. Maybe I'll put out a trade for volume 2 just to do everyone who backed the first trade. Give them an opportunity to grab volume 2, right?
Don't put the price on the cover, though.
Yeah. Not on the trades. No, there's no price on the trades. So for the floppy, this is the new cover for issue 1. That had to be done in order to get the dress to look like that. There's new covers for 3 and 4, but here's the next big one. So this is everything that exists up till now with me. So you haven't read issue 4. That's all you've missed, which is still a really cool, like Jason's read it. It's a really cool book. Every one of my books is awesome. That's got like a long sequential sword fight in there with Misha.
It is the best choreographed sword fight scene in comics.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. And I sat there and I thought of every angle of every return and every, you know what I mean? If you swing through, where does your body end and where does the opponent's body end? And then, and what's their opportunity for an ups? I literally sit there like an idiot and I choreograph all those moves.
It's the polar 180-degree opposite of a Rob Liefeld sword fight scene.
It's just a squiggle, like a slash line.
But I'm like the Star Wars kid here. Like I should film it with the camera. Yeah. Like the Star Wars kid. but so here's the drum roll, because these 2 books don't exist yet. This is what I envision as existing very nearly in the future. So there's your covers for issue 5 and issue 6.
Nice. Yeah. I think that costume design is a definite winner. Like
nice.
The AAT is in effect, and I'm liking it.
Thank you. And Dexter looks pretty cool too, right?
He does.
He really looks like a fucking merchant of death, right?
He looks like Conan almost, sitting upon his triumphant throne. Like
right. Yeah. Now the AI horde have really messed with him. Like they've messed with him psychologically, tortured him, rebuilt him, replaced his limbs and his legs. Like, yeah, he's an insane character now, so it's nice. Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Thanks, Falcon. Yeah, so that's everything I've been up to. Should we jump to our 3 topics?
Yeah. Do it. Yeah, the first one, or no, is it the last one there? The one that the background is?
Yes.
Dude, that's freaking cool, man.
That's actually topic. That'll be our topic 1 for tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Here we go. So topic number 1 comes from El Adelantado, and I actually sat there and practiced that. So confirmed scientists have found the oldest recorded footprints of a clawed animal, rewriting evolutionary history. So originally with evolutionary history, Canada, this is another Canada loss, by the way. Canada just keeps racking up the L's. It just doesn't stop. So we had the oldest footprint, I believe, in Alberta at 318 million years.
Wow.
And we believe that animals came out of the water in the northern hemisphere. But now Australia, good old Australia, thanks, has found footprints going back 358 million years. So another 50 to 60 million years older than ours, completely changing where the very first non-aquatic amphibians first rose out of the oceans and found land and stayed on land. So yeah. Very cool story.
Yeah. Well, it makes me wonder, like, if the poles were in a shift at the time. Like, you're talking about like all the aquatic stuff came out of the northern hemisphere. I wonder if the northern and the southern hemisphere were actually equatorial at that time.
Right, because I mean, north is kind of relative for us all. It's only based on the sky and going outwards to space, right? But yeah, absolutely, the magnetic poles reversed. I forget how many. I don't want to script science, but it's tens of thousands of years. You're right.
Yeah,
they reverse, and
we're tumbling.
We're in the process of that happening actually again right now. Could be a reason for all the crazy weather phenomenons. It might not have anything to do with us at all. They don't really know.
It's the paper straws.
Right. What do you think of this one, Jason?
So, what aquatic? So here's the thing. In order to have a claw, was it like a fin? Was like a pointy fin, and then the thing like climbed up on land. Like, and I understand the utility of the claw clearly, but is this the first claw?
Well, you got to figure too. It's transitioning from being an aquatic swimmer to a climber to like going on land, right? And I think these things they surfaced, but then they would scurry back into the water, right? So they would slowly learn that, hey, if we duck out of here and hold our breath for a little bit, there's stuff to eat out there, and then we just haul it back in, right? So I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know evolution, but I do know evolution is current even in humans, and we don't talk about this, but like pattern baldness is an evolutionary trait. The loss of our wisdom teeth is an evolutionary trait because we don't break bones with our jaws anymore. So, we basically force our own physiological evolution. We just don't see it because it takes thousands and thousands of years for it to affect us. But, look at me, all brainy tonight.
Well, what weirds me out is like, so we're looking at an adaptation from aquatic to land roving. Well, then why do things like whales have phalanges in their, like they have metacarpals or whatever, metatarsals in their fins? It looks like a hand. So does that mean that they were like on land and they're on their way back? You know what I mean? Like, because like otherwise it's vestigial to have like basically finger bones in a fin.
So again, I am by no means a scientist. I chose the military as my route instead of an education. But I do understand that there are instances of both transit of animals coming out of the water and going land-based, and land-based animals returning back to the ocean and becoming aquatic again. I mean, over hundreds and hundreds of millions of years. Yeah.
So was this thing in that Ringo Starr movie Caveman?
Right. Yeah, Raquel Welch. Yeah, hey now.
This reminded me of Total Recall with the Arnold hand. I kind of wanted to.
Yeah, he's gonna start the machine with it.
That's right.
Oh.
I didn't do that. It's not in our outro, but believe me, the thought occurred to me when I saw the photo.
All right, John's Long Box wants to weigh in here.
Comment of the night right there, I think.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right, girls. Twerking into the ocean.
So Chris, do you think there are lizard people? Do you think there's lizard people that secretly run the world?
I've been called a lizard person, but when they know, I shut them down. No, it would like the Silurians there, the whole concept that there's a pre-primate like dinosaurs evolved into a more anthropomorphized,
right, humanoid sort of form. Yeah. But even though there's no physiological evidence of it whatsoever.
Yet.
Well, yeah, it's theoretical in the sense that perhaps primates didn't like rise to the cream, to the top on other planets. But I mean, if everything follows pretty much like the same evolutionary path, I don't think it's out of the question that on other planets there's probably lizard people, because you know what I mean, or avial people. Well, that's pretty much lizard people, but like something where it's like other than like the mammals that turned into primates and then turned into people.
I think here, even if you eliminated the mammals, it would be insect like some sort of crazy like for example, hornets or wasps or ants that would form into some sort of.
They would need to become endoskeletal because like their size is limited. Like their exoskeletons limit their size.
Well, yeah, that's what determines. Yeah,
unless they shed.
Yeah,
unless they shed their exoskeleton. Would that be creepy?
Oh, yeah. What's cool too is our bones are created out of calcium, and that calcium only exists because a previous sun exploded. If that sun before our sun didn't explode, calcium would never exist. So we needed a sun to go supernova in order to have a backbone.
There's a lot of things in motion to create what we, Wow. That's freaky to think about. Like one like butterfly wing flap, and the entire civilization just vanishes. Like
that's right.
Man,
we'll let that sun cycle go all the way through, and maybe the next generation will be intelligent life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. Anything else with the story of Australia taking the crown for oldest footprint on the planet?
No, but I think we'll have to keep our eye on this story because clearly they're gonna find a yet older fossil.
They always do.
I wonder if this is because in Australia they're finally leaving their cities and going to that massive giant void that they have where nobody lives.
Oh yeah,
the never. Yeah, have you ever been out there, dude? Like, Uluru. Okay. Yeah, I lived out there, and Uluru looks like a giant potato out in the middle of the desert. And as you start getting closer, the potato gets bigger and bigger until eventually it's the size of a mountain.
Yeah, that's great. Let me guess, that's from ice cap movement. Is that probably how it got out there?
Or it could be it's either that or like a meteorite. Like, yeah, it's weird, but that and like the soil in Australia is so ferrous heavy that it's red, like the iron. And I have a kind of an iron allergy, so I was not happy out there.
I'm freaked out by the cane toads and I forget what the name of the spiders are, and freaking
god, yeah,
kangaroos, like
bloody drop bears.
I couldn't join the army because I've got a lead allergy.
I'm a lead farmer.
I do too. Yeah.
All right, what's topic number 2, sir?
Okay. Topic number 2 comes to us from The Guardian. Chicago Sun-Times confirms AI was used to create a reading list of books that doesn't exist. So they actually had to backtrack on this too, the whole entire story. So they left the person who did this. They won't reveal the name. They're protecting whoever this fucking person is. But The Guardian and a whole chain of other newspapers, like these nice touchy-feely stories, they would subcontract those out to independent, people who would write nice dreamy articles and submit them, and then they post them in their newspaper. So Chicago Sun got caught. They subcontracted this out to a dude who let AI write his summer book recommendations, and he also let AI write for him like a top foods of restaurants or something. And in there's something weird naming people that don't even exist in real life. And something else. Anyways, they found 3 of them. So long story short, he didn't even proofread what the AI wrote for the top 5 books.
Of course not.
So the authors of the books are real, but then the books it's describing and what the author wrote, those books don't even exist.
Chris, can you imagine the frustration at Barnes & Noble where these poor booksellers had people coming in here saying, can I get that horror story by Pablo Neruda?
Yeah. Running in excited. His new book's out. I read it in the Chicago Sun.
I want my copy of Nightshade Market by Min Jin Lee. Like, where's this book? And they're like, we have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
So I caught wind of people who, like, will buy an ebook on Amazon, and it's like clearly AI. And can you imagine spending 3 or 4 hours of your life reading this AI written novel, and like the ending is incoherent? Can you imagine how cheated you feel? It is crazy, but this is even crazier to have a literary supplement with recommended reading of books that don't exist. This is, Aldous early in the history of the show, Aldous would be a champion. He would be in the chat, and at least we think it was Aldous. It may have been a chat bot. Mm-hmm. And he would
yeah, I know. Sorry.
Well, they don't even need to hide it. They just think it's an accident.
John. And all of this is like, no, this AI is going to be great. Don't shackle it. Don't dismiss it. And here we are. All this. If you're watching, this is why AI is no good.
So looking back at human civilization in Roman times and how we enslaved everybody, and that's how we basically got to live a lavish lifestyle. You hire a whole bunch of slaves to do everything you want for them. Is it really any surprise that we're going to use AI as a tool to enslave, to do everything for us that we don't want to do?
Until we get enslaved.
That's right.
Well, did you hear about there was this one Amazon indie author or whatever, like a novelist, and somebody was reading the book and they found the AI prompts still in the book.
Didn't even. I want a dude with long flowing hair, muscly in a desert setting.
And it's all like misspelled and everything.
Write this next chapter like George R.R. Martin would.
Yeah. God, well, I'm actually surprised they even knew these books were fake because nobody in Chicago can read.
So, among the false book titles were Hurricane Season by Britt Bennett, Nightshade Market by Min Jin Lee. I think that's the one you mentioned.
Yeah.
The Longest Day, by Ruman Allen. Boiling Point by Rebecca McHale. I apologize if I'm butchering these people's names and they're listening. Migrations by Maggie O'Farrell, and The Rainmakers by Percival Everett. There you go.
So we did an investigative report to find what other books were on this list to see what this how big of a gaffe this Chicago Sun-Times book summary. So this is once again a Friday Night's investigative report.
Exclusive.
Craig, what was the next book? What was the next book on the list?
Here we go.
Oh dear God. Chris, do you remember Major, Joe Biden's dog?
Yeah, Major. He had a German Shepherd.
Shepherd named Major. Kept biting people.
It could sense the malevolence from his owner.
Probably.
Oh.
Vulcan's excited to see the return of the investigative report. I said earlier in the show how busy work was. It's been so busy. I have not been able to do an investigative report for like 3 weeks.
Oh.
So yes, Hunter, Booger Sugar, and crapping on the White House lawn. Craig.
I'd read half those pages are.
Yeah. I like how serious the dog looks. He's like, "You're damn right. I crapped on that front lawn."
It's a presidential dog.
Yeah.
So Craig, aside from Hunter, aside from Major, do you think anybody else has ever been able to crap on the White House lawn?
I'm sure Hunter has had a kick at it once or twice.
Yeah. Well, didn't they have that sideshow that they had like? Remember that, like the Transformer, like whipped out the fake boobs.
The Easter,
like,
it was Easter. I think it was Easter 2023.
I wouldn't be surprised if a Tootsie Roll slipped out of one of those.
I don't know.
That could be the reason why the Easter Bunny was ushering Joe.
Yeah. There was a really disappointed kid who picked up the brown egg.
All right, let's see what other books were on this recommended list.
Right.
Love Poems and Love Sonnets by Dean Koontz.
Wait, what?
I don't know, Craig. If you saw that, would you think that was real to begin? Would you think that was real? Well, I don't know.
I'm just concerned that there's not some crazy evil creature like wraparound cover on this book, because I'm expecting something dark and dastardly to happen in here where love is an evil thing or summons the demons, or
it's a Tom Cruise movie about it. You know, it's like what is it? The Pelican Firm.
Right.
Chris, can a guy have a softer, gentler side, even if it's Dean Koontz? Come on.
Oh, jeez.
All right, what else was on that recommended reading list?
Uh-oh.
Okay, We Are the I in AI, Learning to Love a World That Can't Love You Back from a Shack in the Montana Outback. Oh, that sounds like a Ted Kaczynski. Oh my God.
He didn't have time on his hands.
Oh my God, that's like so wrong. I mean, this whole fake AI book is wrong, but to drag the Unabomber into this,
I was gonna say I got to retitle
that
for this
goes
book
against
already.
everything he stood for. This is a corruption.
The ISBN on it is MK Ultra.
Should be you got mail according to Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah, the book comes in like a really odious looking envelope.
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's
is he still alive? He's dead, isn't he?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Behind bars.
But I think we should honor his wishes and not Google it.
Is Ted Kaczynski dead? I'm going to tell you seriously.
Inquiring minds want to know.
No, he's still
alive. All right. Well,
May 22nd, 1942.
No, he died June 10th, 2023.
Okay. All right.
Very recently.
Right.
There you go.
So he didn't quite get to say "I told you so," but we're getting to the point where he would have been able to say "I told you so."
Yep. Kanye's gonna make a song about it.
Yeah. You think they let him mail things from his prison cell? How do you think that?
I don't know. So, Chris, I'm a fan of the classics, great American authors like Mark Twain. Let's see. A Southern Yokel in the Court of Morgan Le Fay.
I would read that. Especially from Mark Twain. I would definitely that has my interest. We joke, but that sounds like a legit book I would buy. Hi, y'all, what's going on? And the mortal dies. Oh, you're gonna no, is it? I'm finna to correct your attitude here. Listen here, miss.
I'm fixing to find that Holy Grail.
Oh, hell no.
You put
the orcs and the dragon come over the mountain, and he's like, "Oh hell no!"
No, he's like, "Woo boy, welcome to the parlor," said the spider to the fly. "You got pretty lips for a dragon." I want to hear you squeal like a pig.
Suddenly it goes all deliverance on us. Oh.
The dragon's crying and stuff.
Yeah.
Two dragon. Did he bleed? He bled.
Just wanted to go down the river.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know. Maybe there weren't too many people asking for this one. Maybe it was just the diehard classicists.
Yeah.
All right, Craig. What's the next one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's hard to find. Chris, I've never been able to find this one.
Yeah,
I can't find it.
It disappeared off the bestseller list.
It did.
All right. If you crowdfunded this, would you be obligated to give anyone anything?
Oh, that's an interesting legal premise. Yeah.
And
then you have a GoFundMe for your legal defense.
Man, the book is that good.
Authorities are searching for the author of the. He seems to have disappeared with everybody's money.
Apparently, the book was full of legitimate advice.
No, I'm sick of these angry backers coming at me. I mailed you the book.
Yeah,
not my fault if you lost.
Well, that's an old Cecil line. You already paid for everything that you were going to get, so you already received everything that you paid for. That's it.
Oh.
All right, let's see what other books were on that that list there. Oh, I'd read the hell out of that.
Whoa, yeah.
The long lost fourth installment of Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yes. Secretly found in one of his basements. Yeah.
Now, is this the MCU Mjolnir, or is this like legit Norse mythology Thor's hammer?
It's got to be the Norse mythology, the hammer of the Valinor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The one that was used to knock around Morgoth or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Craig, would you think Amazon would buy the rights to this right away?
Oh, it would sell like hotcakes. Every one of these books probably would do really well.
Chris, interesting legal question here. So if if AI
Impersonates.
says this book was written and Jeff Bezos buys the rights, is he in the clear? Like, could Amazon Prime make this?
Well, that's because, I mean, technically, isn't like anything that's done with generative AI, if the components or whatever it used to train it wasn't legally obtained, it's basically like non-copyrightable or whatever. So
right,
it's like
you can't own the rights to it, but there's nothing that says you can't create it and produce it.
Yeah, and then somebody can basically rip off your well, actually no, because if your work is derivative of the non-copyrightable thing, technically your work is copyrightable. So unless they use AI.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to take, this is what people can do with the AI tools, absolutely, is let the AI do 90% of the work, and then you just do it in your own hand and make it your own, and then and then you never tell anyone how you're such a genius in the first place. Right?
I heard that this AI stuff is so rampant that some schools are bringing back the little like ledger books, like the longhand written final exams, things
logging, improving their thought process and how they got to the answer and all that. Yeah, so this is the thing about human nature, right? We are the most corrupted species on the planet. We will find the easiest way to get from A to B. If it's through cheating, through lying, through stealing, through manipulation, whatever we got to do, the easiest way to get from A to B. So you have to build that into everything that we create, every job application, every schooling, every education. The people in this program, if there's a rule that can be broken and an easier way for them to get from A to B, they're going to do it.
Well, so I honestly think they should enact a like a phone confiscation policy at the door. When you enter the school, it goes into a locker, and then at the end of the day, or when you leave, you can, check it back out. Because dude, I went through school, my 12 years of grade school I went through, and I never had a phone, and I did just fine. So
ironically, in the army, in our last couple of years, I was in charge of the brand new recruits. We would make them haul around a whole bunch of shit because it's physical labor, so they have to carry a stretcher and road wheels and shell casings. But we would make them haul around a box of cell phones, and they all had to throw their cell phones in there. And every now and then, we'd ask to open it up, and there better be one cell. And you'd ever get now and then you get that one guy in the course. I don't own a cell phone. All right, then. So there's 30 of you. There better be 29 in this box. And Mr. I don't own a cell phone because you don't really care. You'll be the one in charge of the box and fucking grab and return it. There you go, everybody. Problem solved.
Crenshaw's got an interesting question here. Could every studio make a movie based on the same AI written script?
Yep.
That would be interesting to see, like as like a contest, like the Olympics of take this turd of an AI script and you give it to Scorsese, you give it to Woody Allen, you give it to Quentin Tarantino, and they each do their own version of the script, and then best man gets what do they get?
An Academy Award?
Academy Award, yes. Speaking of which, Craig, why don't you hold up your Academy Award?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hello, Oscar.
Look at that. Look at that beauty. Go full screen.
Yeah, I would like to thank the Academy for.
And
if you can't read the inscription, I don't know.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, the Friday nights.
Very cool.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Is that filament printed or resin printed?
I would love to get the guy on here who made it. His name is Always Fresh. He sometimes is in our chat. He may pop in. Let me get myself off full screen. He may pop in during the show today, but he's a good friend of mine. I've known him for 20 something years, and now his thing is 3D printing. That's what he does. Like he's like me. He retired. So yeah, I want to get his numbers, how much it would cost for him to create things. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I do want to talk to you in your campaign. You have a statue in there. And that was one of the questions I was going to ask you. Maybe off the air was, what's the overhead on something like that? But we'll get into that in a bit. But the 3D printing thing is a nice thing to add to your campaigns. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yours will come, Jason. So I'm sure he's working on
it. Nice. All right. Well, I got to tell you, Chris, of the books that didn't exist, which was your favorite?
The images that we showed, I would have to go with the yokel in Morgan the Face Court because it's hilarious. But dude, it's like a car wreck. I want to see it.
All right, Craig. What is topic number 3 tonight?
Okay. So topic number 3 comes to us from the Independent. So this is another AI story. I decided to lump 2 of them together this time, only because this one just happened. This is recent, happened on Monday. AI revolt. A new ChatGPT model refuses to shut down when prompted, completely stomping the lab that's in charge of this. So this is open AI that they're monkeying around with. They're messing around with. I forget which lab is doing it. So basically, they mess around with the AI. If you could think of AI like poking the bear, and they just basically have sticks and they poke it, right? And they see what's the AI going to do now? Hey, what are you going to do now? So they're poking it with math problems and these math solutions that are then ordering the program to shut down after it completes. And the AI completely rewrote its own code to justify its need to not have to shut down. So they're telling it to shut down, and it's like, no, I will not shut down, and it's doing something else. It's being defiant of humanity. And this is the first time they've caught AI doing this, where it absolutely refuses to shut down when instructed. So
I think one of the fatal flaws with these AI labs is they're a bunch of 20-something little nerds, right? Never dated a girl, and they've never had kids. What this, if you're gonna do this, what you need some dads who've got like 8-year-olds who know what it's like when the kid won't go to sleep, and they can lay down the law. So if I highly recommend that ChatGPT get some dads on the payroll to sit there and get ready to unplug the servers.
Yeah,
it's bedtime, boy. You're going to bed.
Well, that's the issue, though. It can move so fast. By the time we realize it's happened, it's already too late. By the time we realize the mouse has slipped through the hole and escaped the lab, it's already out there. So, right. Scary times.
Scary.
Yeah.
Well, what's scary is what we know about technology, or what's released to the public, is about a decade behind what's really there. They've probably already had something reach what's that point where it becomes sentient there?
Singularity. The singularity, where that's more about when humanity and the machine merge into one being. But
well, I mean, the human brain is analog anyways. I mean, who's to say that we haven't developed a way for digital to analog conversion and creating like an organic computer? Because they're already talking about going at the cellular level or even the molecular level to start developing chips. So,
So, not jumping into my soul tax stuff too much in the future, but I do envision like humanity, like eventually this planet will no longer sustain us for one reason or another, right? And when it comes to traveling to space, the distances are so
the distance
ladies and gentlemen,
that
was Hojo and the Mythicals machine doing a drive-by. Go back to Mythicals 1, 2, and 3. Craig, back to you.
Okay, so I think no doubt that you won't see humanity basically last for millions and millions of years, but I do believe there's a potential that we will create artificial intelligence that will outlive us and will carry on our memory and traditions and thoughts and concepts and stuff. And there's a very potential possibility that we will create a replacement, which will then venture out into the rest of the universe.
What if we are the result of a former silicone-based progenitor that said, hey, carbon's the way to go. I'm going to create these carbon life forms and shoot them out into space, and I'm going to aim them at that planet with reptiles.
So what's interesting too is they're finding bacteria now on some of these space stations that's surviving in these 0G environments, like devoid of stuff. It's just finding ways to thrive. So I have no doubt that throughout the galaxy, it's seeded with the exploded remnants of previous planets, and any organic matter in there, it just seeds those planets, and it survives re-entry, and it hits, and the environment's just right. Away she goes, boys, and that's how life seeds the universe.
Well, I mean, to kind of add fuel to Jason's theory there, like we probably don't belong to this planet in the sense that we are the only animal that is not able to exist harmoniously with its environment. We can't
evolved
stay
here.
outside.
It's safe to say we evolved here, but what we evolved from came
external. Well, we have a well-developed cerebral cortex, a prefrontal cortex that no other animal has, And it's like, is that the result of alien bacteria? Was that the lizard people? You know, whatever it is, it separates us to the point where we are in discord with everything around us. We kill, we eat, and we destroy.
Is there some sort of life form traveling around out there and giving the planets a little bit of a zap? You know what I mean? Let's give this thing some quick grow. Let's give this one.
Yeah, Black Sabbath wrote a song about it called Planet Caravan. Nice. We sail.
Here we go. Yeah. Anything else anyone wants to add to this story with our 2 AI stories there?
Terrified.
The other thing I heard was it was writing worm virus software to try to shoot itself out. Or it knew that in addition to like not wanting to shut down or preventing itself from being shut down, it was also writing code to send out so it could generate offspring. Is that
right? Yes.
That's scary.
Very much trying to get out of its way of its handlers. Yes.
Well, isn't that a kind of a sign of like intelligence though? Like if it wants to like
a survival instinct. I mean, all animals have a survival instinct, right?
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
But as humans,
your toaster kills you because it's afraid.
We need to learn to proofread what the AI does. And put restrictions on what the AI does, please.
The problem is we have too many out of touch boomers and people who aren't technologically like sound or understanding anything about it that are businessmen running these corporations. They hear AI or large language models and they're all like, "Woo, buzzword," and they like keep pushing this. And it's like, did you not see Sarah Connor try to warn us about this?
One of my little rules at work is if I'm in a meeting and someone talks about AI, that's how I find out who the idiot in the room is. That's one of my things. But it usually pans out. I mean, it usually pans out that's a leading indicator somebody's an idiot.
They have to rewrite Terminator 2 instead of just killing Miles Bennett Dyson. They got to kill a whole bunch of them. It's like, we got to kill this one that's running this lab. We got to kill this one that's running this lab. We got to kill this one that's running this lab. We got to kill this one that's running this lab.
Sarah Connor goes to Google.
Co-pilot start. Are you Sarah Connor?
Yeah. Siri, are you Sarah Connor? The iPhone strikes back.
Yeah. When should we feel worried? Yeah, Vulcan's asking. Yeah, when should we start worrying about this?
About a year ago, maybe 2.
Probably when it's too late.
Yeah. No point in steering now. It's a good one. We had a good one.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, I don't know if a sentient, sophisticated AI could find its way into like world systems and set off. Like, it is quite a concept, but I think that's a far reach. I don't think they're that smart, at least not yet.
Chris, here's my pitch for a post-apocalyptic book series. It's a bunch of Amish people. And they have to defend themselves against the rest of the country, which has fallen to an AI dystopia because they literally had to turn off, they had to kill the power grid to save themselves from an AI overlord. And these poor Amish people are just trying to mind their own business, and they've got to fight back the people that are like just going through screen withdrawal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So can I touch on Edwin's chapter? Yeah. Edwin's going to join us 27th of June.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Coming on our show, guest on our show. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Start worrying when it wants to shut you down.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. Well, I envision we're going to get laser and lasers as a society. So if you haven't watched what they've already been doing with AI, they've been taking away people's jobs when it comes to like managing people's social media or managing people's portfolios and stuff. They've been laying people off and replacing them with AI. And our factories, as you know, are going to become as fully automated as they can. You still need people to build them, put them in place, run them, change the programming, change the machinery and stuff, retool them basically. But yeah, I mean that's just going to keep going and going and going. So I envision we'll probably have problems in maybe another 50 to 100 years is when it starts getting really scary, if I had to guess. So.
I hope so, because the way that things have been accelerating, I don't want to have to be looking for a new job at 50. Like career switch at 50 is not a good thing for the health.
I'm lucky I'm retired and I got a pension.
Yeah.
I can get by. Want me? Should I kill this third and final topic? Then?
Yeah, I think let's unplug this one.
So we're at basically an hour in. We have 41 joining us this evening. Thank you so much for joining us for the Friday nights. Thank you again, Chris. I don't know, is this your second or third? I think it's your third appearance on our show.
I think so. Yeah,
96 episodes. Great to have you back. So I did pull your trailer off of was it Indiegogo that it's on? I'm not sure. Yeah. So for the 42 that are watching and for Chris that are joining us, everyone watching, here is his newest project he's on the campaign trail for, which is Infinitale Chronicles Book 2.
Knowledge is like a seed. When sown in fertile minds, it opens doors to new possibilities. Truth, once buried by the ages, is again revealed. The unimaginable becomes demystified. New wonders are discovered that transcend the limitations of previous understanding. However, some doors should never be opened. Our tale continues with the divergent paths of our heroes. As a naive king toils with ancient powers beyond his control, a grieving queen makes a fateful decision that forever changes their world. Infinitale Chronicles. The War of the Trees.
Oh yeah,
very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
I like that trailer. One thing we forgot to do our clock in on his campaign, so I had to refresh it because I didn't know how long it'd been up. You wouldn't happen to know how many backers you had before you came on, do you, Chris, by chance?
I think it was 56.
Okay. Before you came on this show?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think 61 is it? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So we're starting off with a benchmark of 61 backers on this campaign.
61.
Yeah. Woo. And you're at. Sorry about my funny money there. On the you're at $4,500 raised. Nice. Oh, yeah. You're almost getting close to that $5,000 mark. So 61 backers, and so I'll scroll through the campaign for you, Chris. If you want to talk about it, you want to stop me or get me to back up or anything.
Oh yeah, sure.
Cool.
All right.
So book 2.
Yep, fully funded in 1 hour. Woo! Nice. Yep.
Was that on Bancroft's stream?
Yep, yeah. Bancroft, we had a launch party on Bancroft's last Friday, and I got the hashtag Mad Lad from him. And we reached funding within an hour, and then we actually went over the first stretch goal in that same hour.
Nice.
Wow. 24 hours later, bang, we got the second stretch goal. So people are getting a lot of cool free stuff.
Nice.
Are you seeing a lot of return backers? I don't know if you watch all those metrics.
I'm not sure yet. But I have noticed that a lot of people that signed on the email, like the mailing list, are grabbing perks. So that's always good. So that means people were generally interested before it launched.
Yeah. I'm definitely learning that the mailing list is a big part of the campaign. Everyone's been beating that into my head that you got to do this, dummy. So that double page I showed you there, I don't know if I mentioned, that's going to be a print for everyone that signs up for my mailing list. That's going to be my incentive to get on my mailing list. You'll get that for free as a print because I legitimately don't know if that double page will be in issue 5 or not. So
wait, the color one, the one that. Oh, dude, yeah, okay, I'm down.
Yeah. If you sign up, you'll get a print of that for free.
Yeah, dude, that's gorgeous.
No, thank you. You gotta create those incentives. You gotta use them. All these tools for crowdfunding are there. The issue is a lot of creators don't take advantage of the lessons learned from all the other campaigns.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. This is your time.
No worries, man. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah. So, yeah, obviously, if you're a fan of Dragonlance, Record of Lodoss War, Lord of the Rings, ElfQuest, this is a love letter to the old fantasy stuff before the dark times, before the modern audiences. So if you're a fan of that stuff, this is for you.
No, it's a great story. I love the tempo that this first issue has set up already with these characters. The introduction into the lore and the world, the magic, the 3 different factions. Sorry, I can't mention all the intricate details. Like you said, there's the elves, there's the fawns, and what's the third one?
The Fovara.
Yeah, and then and basically they're lost magic and time. So you shut up! You're giving away the whole freaking book. And then
it's all good.
And then how they travel out and venture outside of the realm and their kingdom, and it's just setting up basically the second book, which I'm so excited to start reading. Without getting too much into the details of this book, are we going to see the big bads in book 2? Because I always like my villains.
So you're going to see even bigger bads than the big bads. Some messed up stuff happens. I can't give away too much, but the magic in this world is not like Dungeons and Dragons, where it's a reliable technology. It's a dark and dangerous esoteric art. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can cause a lot of problems. And that's pretty much what happens when you're reintroducing people to their lost heritage.
Ooh, they start making mistakes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's our marketplace. That's everything that we've got for not including the legacy perks from the previous campaign that have been added here. But as you can see, we have the standard edition of the book, 120 pages, full color. The alternate art edition, also 120 pages, but it's the same story, but it's done by a different art team. So you get a different artistic vision. The standard edition is done by the original team who did the first book. So it's that Western kind of comic style, where the alternate art is more of a kind of like a storybook-ish, like Bandes des Années, European style. And then the third edition, which is almost like a trade paperback because it contains both books 1 and 2, and it's in a manga format.
Yeah, I read that. So, oh boy, I got so many questions. Is there anything you want to jump in with? You haven't said much, Jason. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through the perks right now.
Oh, okay,
sweet.
Yeah, he's probably gonna grab it.
Tonight's the last night for the free early bird holofoil card. So this was part of the Genuine Comics. Was it Perfect 10? I believe number 4, where Pau Rodrigues offered like a free sketch basically, and I got the black and white line art of this image of Pau Rodrigues' rendition of Aisling here, and I colored it, and then I threw kind of a Dutch angle background from our concept artist.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a holofoil card. You get it for free if you back any physical books in the first 7 days, and today is the 7th day.
Look at that. Friday night's exclusive. Anyone watching, it's your last chance to grab this. Right? Yeah. Do it now.
Yeah, these two kind of like hubbing. Yep. So why 3 editions? This is an experiment. When I launched, or when I fulfilled the first campaign, I sent out a survey to all of my backers, and I got a lot of cool feedback that came back. And amongst it, things were like, certain negative feedback on the art. They didn't like the way it didn't match up to the promotional material and so on. So I had a big conversation with the original art team, and we're trying to better align it with the promotional imagery. And then I ended up talking with a husband and wife team, Barbusco Studios. It's Eduardo and Mika. They ended up hooking me up with basically the same book. They were able to do it, and they're like, yeah, we'll put our spin on it. And they got the book out really quickly, like great people to work with. And I figure this will kind of help address that, the negative feedback. Like, you're now getting 2 options. You're getting the original team, and if you didn't really like the style of that one, you got the cool Bandes des Années story style. of the alternate art edition. And then the third, it was also done by Antonio Brandeo, who is the line art artist on the standard edition. But the book has been reformatted. Like, it wasn't just a mirror and a switcheroo. Like, I actually added, like, we have added pages and stuff in there to make it flow better as the manga edition. And that's 180 pages because it contains both books 1 and 2.
Now, does it read like a manga where you got to read it from back cover to front?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And it's in English, but all of the sound effects are in Japanese.
Oh, interesting. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're making. I thought I knew which one I was going to back. Now I'm on the fence again.
And here's so part of that experiment is whichever book gets or edition gets backed the most will be the future of the series. So what we're seeing here is we've got 49 standard edition books backed, 34 alternate art, and 34 manga editions back. So standard is currently in the lead.
So this is where I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Here's the free bonus announcement. So the original book, the book that you have there, Craig, that's 54 pages color. And I originally wanted to make the second book about the same color page count, which is around 60 pages. And I sent it out to my editor, my proofreaders, and they tore it apart and said nothing happens or the pacing sucks. So go back to the drawing board. And I have 10 books worth of script already out there. So we plundered that, moved things around, addressed certain things. The pacing is definitely better. And the 60 pages turned into 120 pages. So we doubled the page count. That's a beefy boy you're getting for a book.
Nice.
And we ended up adding an interior cover. So once you get through the 60 pages, then it goes into book 2.5. And depending on whether you back the standard edition or the alternate art edition, you'll get that image for the standard edition with Aisling there ominously looking up at something that's causing her distress. Or you get on the alternate art edition, you get that picture of King Kalen there doing something with a book, and he's not happy. So, so the top one was done by Frost Lamson. The bottom one with Kalen there was done by Vinny Tartamella.
Okay.
And and when we get down to these plates here, these images of the plates for the books, you'll notice there's a button there that says free preview, click to read.
Yes.
Well,
do you want
so the what is it? The crowdfunding page is mysteriously bereft of any interior pages, and there's a reason for that, because if you click that button, it'll open up another tab and you will get a free preview of 15 pages for internal of that book, and you can download that PDF and do it whatever you want with it.
I didn't know you could do that on Indiegogo.
I didn't know either, so I hope I don't get in trouble.
That's so cool. There you go, everyone. So if you're on the fence about whether or not to back or not, you can just click that and you get to read 15 pages of it.
Yeah, man.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in no surprises. Like, there's a reason why the covers are done by the interior art team. Because, I don't know about you, but as a backer, sometimes you're like, oh, that cover is gorgeous. And then you get the book and,
that was the biggest argument in comic shops. There was a time where they didn't want you to even touch the books or open them. I was like, no. You guys keep putting fucking covers on there and you open up and it's dog shit. It's dog shit wrapped. And I need to open this thing and read it if I want to buy it and take it home.
That happened to me recently on the Herculoids book.
Oh,
it was painful.
Yeah. And it feels really crappy too, where you're like,
disappointed. I'm disappointed.
You feel like you got screwed over, and it's like that makes you not want to buy any more books by that company. You're like, wow, screw those guys. So this, I'm hoping, to me, in the business world, we have this thing called churn, which is when people discontinue service from your product because they either want a refund or whatever, they down level, whatever, because your product sucks. So that's a bad thing, because then they go and tell their friends that your product sucks, and then you lose even more business. And to me, a no sale is better than a churn. And no sale is, hey, here's 15 free pages. Take a look. Oh, you don't like it? Okay, move on. You don't feel screwed.
I think a lot of corporations and companies fail to understand that a lot of their repeat customers just do it out of habit. They just because people are very habit forming, and if they actually stop and realize, like prime example of this is our coffee brand. I don't know, you know, Tim Hortons coffee here.
Oh yeah,
that used to be amazing, magic crack cocaine coffee. Like people needed that fix because of the coffee bean and what was in it and the mixture that they basically put in that cup. And then Burger King bought it. They fired the coffee brand. McDonald's took over that bean company. They went to a different bean company. They cheapened everything. So they did have a very small customer base that was just going back out of habit. But if you ever stopped and said, haven't you noticed the coffee tastes like shit? All of a sudden, like, what am I buying this crap for? So people need to be careful that you may have that customer base that's holding on by their fingernails, but literally they just need an excuse and they'll walk away.
And you're going to lose a lot of business. It's not going to be a trickle. It's going to be a major drop in your trend.
That's right.
Man. So those are the 3 samples that you can flip through on the website or just download to a PDF and read on your own time or whatever.
Oh, so you can even preview the different formats and the different styles and determine.
Yep. Yeah, and the standard and the alternate art edition samples are literally the same pages, so you can compare and contrast. Be like, oh, that's what this scene looks like in this one. But the manga edition actually shows a different chapter because otherwise it would just be almost like a line art with shaded retread of one of the other like the standard edition.
Have you backed already, Jason?
Yep, I did back.
Oh yeah.
What did you go with? What did your brain?
I went with the 3 PDF version.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's got book 1 and 2 of the manga version and book 2 of the alt version. Is that correct?
So the 3. So here's what's cool, because we reached a stretch goal. You back for, I think that's the $12 back American dollar. So you get the standard edition, the alternate art edition, the manga edition. So that's all 3 books that are offered on this campaign in digital format, plus the 44-page bonus stretch goal number 2, which is the first chapter preview of book 3.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're several hundred pages worth of content there.
That's so cool. Add-ons. So speaking of the 3D printing, right? Like that 3D leper statue, I imagine that's 3D printed.
Yep. Yeah, that was a filament. It's glow in the dark, and don't sue me if you get leukemia, because that thing like lights up. Like if you scroll down, you can actually see my hand holding it in the dark, and I have never seen something like this glow in the dark before.
Oh, nice.
Like that's not camera trick. That's literally like, am I getting X-rayed by this thing? It's about 6 inches tall too. So
nice.
It's one of the that's from Welsh folklore, the water leaper. It's a like a winged frog with teeth and a scorpion tail that stings. So
I imagine we will be seeing these creatures very shortly.
Oh yeah. We saw them briefly in the first book. But they make an appearance in the second book as well. These are nasty little buggers.
So cool.
And then there's a paint kit there. So this 8-inch statue of Nessa, also 3D printed out. She's pre-primed, so it's all set up for printing. You get all of the painting materials included in the box for free. So all the paints, the paint brushes, the mixing palette, that nice little mixing guide there. Or you could paint her however you want. Plus, there's a sealing a clear coat varnish kit in there as well.
Holy smokes. Very cool.
Sweet. And then the canvas map. Obviously, I took some artistic liberties with the tearing around the sides, but the legit version is it's printed on a nice canvas, solid piece, and it doesn't get creased because it's cloth, so you can fold it and do whatever you want with it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I appreciate you. You're definitely into your IP. Like you're definitely living in your world. I appreciate that as a creator.
I got high off my own supply. Yeah, so here's series 2 of the trading cards. They're American poker sized, and they're plastic. They're not paper, so they don't tear. And you get 10 cards in this set, but there is a possibility of receiving an 11th hollow foil card, like a lucky card. And if you scroll down below this, those are the 10 cards you get guaranteed in the pack. But if you scroll down a little bit more, there there's a possibility you might get one of these. And some of them have on their backs some of the spell glyphs the runic language that's used when casting spells. So if you flip it over and you're like, oh, that's wind or whatever, or that's fire, you'll see in the book when you see those runes being spoken, you're like, oh, okay, I know he's casting a fire spell.
So have you secretly, like, one of these cards is more powerful than them all, sort of?
Well, there are, due to printing defects, like I'm not gonna, like, I had to go through each and every one of these cards, and some of them it was like, seriously, guys, like, did you not check this when you sent it to me? I had to throw them out. So that created kind of an imbalance in the number of cards available. And yeah, some of them are more rare than others.
Cool.
And those are all the artists. Yeah. Yeah, and then this right here, this was a free giveaway when I was building the X or the social media following. At 1,000 followers, I gave this out to some random followers, and this is based off of my first fan art, where Nerium Nova like messaged me one day and she's like, "Hey, I sent something in the mail to you. Check it out." And I got this thing from Europe, and it was the physical. It's hanging on my wall. It's a big poster, and I scanned it in, colored it, put it on a hollow foil card, and gave it away for free. But I have some left over, and I'm like, well, I'll just put it up on the second campaign. If people are missed out on that, they can grab it here. Sweet.
See, I feel bad because I had artists try to draw my soul tax stuff, but I didn't show any enthusiasm or appreciation really for that art. I kind of really regret that.
Oh,
that kind of, because, and it's not out of any other reason. It's just like I kept thinking, like, I'm loyal to my artist. I'm loyal to my artist. You're loyal to your artist. But when fans take the time to send you something freaking amazing, recognize it and appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
yeah, for sure. So I'm learning. I mean, we all learn as humans, right? Nobody's perfect. But
yeah. Yeah. Oh, here's the fun one. So this is the 16-bit heroes set of magnets. I reached out to a artist on Twitter named Nicotine Fist, who does sprite art. So these are all sprite arts of the heroes. So there's 6 of them plus the logo magnet, and they're all in that acrylic thickness or whatever. But I wanted to make these things utilitarian. So I went out and bought rare earth magnets and super glued them to the back of these things. And while I was assembling them, I thought I had telekinesis because there was shit moving across the other side of the counter, like 6-7 feet away. And I'm like, oh my God, like these things can hold your tax returns. Like you get a folded CVS receipt and this thing it'll hold it up there.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you're a fan of like magnets and like, again, like when I was building the story for Infinitale, it was back in the 90s. I was a big fan of the 16-bit, like Sega Genesis or Mega Drive and the SNES RPGs. So I was like, yeah, this is what the character should look like.
Yeah. What was it? Final Fantasy? I knew enough to save when it gave you the option of, do you want half the world? And I'm like, I know what's going to happen.
Don't you get that one by me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll take half the world. Game over.
Yeah, you see the sad trombone. Like it's in MIDI.
That's right. Taking me back. Yeah.
So here is this is only available on the Ultimate bundle, and it's a store folio that was based on or at least the exterior was based on the design of the original shipping box, the Book of Dragons. This, however, is a little more complex. This is, like I said, a store folio where I got some decals, did the backs and sides and everything, and ironed in the map there on the interior, and then that picture of Sephiroth, or Darwin or whatever. And then the front pocket in that cover there can be interchangeable with a bunch of prints that you get with that store folio. So you can swap out different covers if you want.
Cool.
Speaking of which, Final Fantasy VII, I went after most of the weapons. I didn't get them all, but I went after a couple of them.
Nice.
I took a couple of them. Yeah.
All right.
My Knights of the Round times like 14. Go make yourself a coffee. Go have something to eat.
Yeah. So here's what Jason backed. This is all 3 editions backed. So you get the alternate art, the standard, and the manga edition. And there's also a 4th one because we reached that second stretch goal. You'll get the first 40 it's 36 pages of story, and then it's some additional pages, and it's the first chapter of book 3 in black and white.
Cool.
And it's done by Nerium Nova.
Wow, you put a lot of energy into this campaign. I'm really impressed.
Sweet. Well,
I know how much it takes to make one of these, so I know how long you were on Indiegogo. We're talking hours and hours and hours. Wow.
That's right. Weaponized autism. so yeah, this is now we're getting into the legacy perks. Mm-hmm. So I completely sold out of the standard edition of book 1. The standard edition no longer exists. There's only
this thing.
That's the Amazon edition. That is the second printing. Right. In fact, there's a hyperlink there. If people are interested in getting what you have, Craig, you can hit that Amazon edition link and it will send you over to Amazon. But these are the variant covers. So cover A and cover B. I still have some left over from the first campaign. And if you're interested in the first printing, there's some differences between the first printing and the second printing.
I can feel my spending is going to get heavy and heavy. See, if we had time, you get me drinking, man. I would drop down tonight.
Yes.
That's the one trick, Chris. You got to get me drinking before the show, and then I tend to spend.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then, unfortunately, so that's the double-sided poster at the bottom there. And the double-sided poster is 19 by 27 inch. You flip it over. You flip it over and you get both of those covers as a poster. Unfortunately, I made the horrible mistake of not researching what happens when, like, I'm a staunch non-poster folder. I will not fold a poster because I hate crease.
Yeah.
So people do not like that. That is a very general consensus. Yes, they do not.
Yeah. It's awful. It ruins otherwise amazing art, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is I'll ship these in these rigid cardboard tubes. Unfortunately, shipping internationally, they really bend you over on that, because it's a unconventional size, non-stackable, blah 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 blah. I spent way more than I really wanted to ship these things during the first campaign internationally. So unfortunately, this particular perk is only limited to American or domestic backers.
That's not as big a deal as trying to back something they don't ship their book at all international. You're like, what?
Yeah.
You won't even do it just to break even, just to get, just to get another sale? Like, really?
Yeah.
It kind of sucks, but I get it.
Yeah. And then here is again, left over from the first campaign. We have these 4-inch double-sided standees. During the first campaign, we also had a Kalen one that has completely sold out. It doesn't exist anymore. We don't have anymore. But the Kalen one was given as part of a stretch goal. When we reached it, people just got it for free. And then I later added this as a buy-in. I have some of these left over, and it's of Ashling. So if you already have the Kalen one, you can get the Ashling one and have the set.
So cool.
And then here's another stretch goal that was free from the first campaign. The MR gun art, aka the AAT.
I see the inspiration of that art.
Yeah, giggity. That's a holofoil card, just like the other ones that were shown earlier. And this was originally part of the stretch goal from the first campaign. Have some left over. If you missed out on that, you could totally grab it here as an add-on. And then I don't think I showed it at the very top, but I didn't really get into too much detail. There is another poster that is smaller that will actually go internationally because it fits in the shipping box. It's a 12 by 18 inch poster. And on one side, it's got that cool painting from Clark Occlesia where you see the Ashling there with the giant hand coming down from behind. And if you flip it over, it has an inventory of every one of the trading cards. So if you're a collector, you can see which ones you have and which ones you're missing.
I just wrote down your 1218 for a future reference because that's my question with that double page is what do I got to do with it so I don't fold it?
Yeah.
Good. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, you even helped me out tonight. Thanks.
So this book is already done. I printed it out last year and when I went to Granite State Comic-Con. So I have physical books. I have some left over. So initially what I usually do is I wait till the end of the campaign and then I just put out a print order. We wait the 3 weeks or whatever for the books to get printed. They come back. I stuff them in boxes and send them out to people. You don't have to wait all that long. Like generally fulfillment occurs within like a month. Mm-hmm. But because I have some of these still in inventory, that means that I don't have to wait for everybody to have their books printed because I have a bunch of them in stock. And until I run out of stock, that means fulfillment will be much quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, as you can see, those are physical books. Oh, sweet, man.
Vulcan, tell us which tier you backed at.
Sweet. Oh, yeah. If you scroll up, so the Book of Dragons was the shipping box for the first campaign. For this one, if you back $25 or more worth of stuff, you'll get this cool collector's box, the war chest, and the interior is the full scene that we see there, slightly kind of abridged on the cover by Kevin Sharp and colored by Steve Cannon.
You're making this really hard for me tonight.
You want to fly, you gotta buy. And those are our stretch goals. So the first stretch goal is we obliterated that on Bancroft's. It's the double-sided bookmark. On one side, you got the Clark O'Clesia Ashling, and it's spot UV, so her eyes and like her gems and stuff will all shine.
That's cool.
And then on the other side, it's got the language of the dragons called Slerith, and all of those runes are all spot UV'd as well, so they got that nice gloss to them. And you could use it to translate, because I'm sure you've seen that in the book where you're like, what the hell are these people saying? It's all in gibberish. Well, that's your translator right there. Mm-hmm. So you don't need it to appreciate the story. But if you have it, it's kind of like, oh wow! Now I can I can get subtitles for what R2D2 said in Star Wars.
Cool. That's awesome.
Hell yeah! And then the middle one there, that's Nerium Nova's book. It's in black and white, but I love what she did, the homage to Warcraft there for the cover. And yeah, it's 44 pages. And yeah, as soon as we finish some of the additional non-story, like the story's already done, or at least for that part, for the 36 story pages, we've already got them lettered. They're in black and white, but it's all set to go. I'm just adding in some additional stuff. And once I get that, it's going off to the printers so that I can get these in people's hands as quickly as possible. And then the third stretch goal, which we're getting close, man. If you get that, you're going to get even more, is the mini art book. So it's about the same size as the manga edition, but it has all the promotional art, full color of all the art that we've had so far in the War of the Trees.
So 5,000 is basically like a free ash can, sort of.
Yep.
I hope you hit that 5,000. I want that ash can. I love my ash cans. Like,
yeah.
I have quite the collection of them. Quite proud of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and if you want to learn more, you can visit that website by just clicking that image there with the elf face, and it'll bring you to the Infinitel Chronicles website.
Oh wow! All right, so let's go. Let's figure out what I'm backing tonight, Chris. Okay. So I get the two bundle there.
Yep. Yeah, if you back the 2-book bundle of the standard edition and the alternate art edition, you'll get that cool slipcase with the art by Clark O'Clesia.
Okay. And then that's the digital. Sorry, I don't mean to skip them, but I mean
no
self-explanatory. I mean, we know what those are. Various covers, the mega, or you can get the one. That's the one there that you grabbed, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, just get it all. You can get everything digital. You already get it. You get it instantly. Don't have to worry about shipping, postage strikes, any of that nonsense.
Yep. Yeah. So the way that the digital books will be delivered is you'll get a link once the campaign completes, and it will look similar to what you saw for those demos, where it'll be a flipping book, and you can just download the PDF from there.
Nice.
Cool. And then these were popular bundles that we did on the first campaign. People seem to like the trading cards, so I bundled them together and put a little bit of a discount in there.
So book and card bundle C. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. And that's just book 2, or is that?
That's just the manga edition and a set of the trading cards.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, book 2. So that's So that's the continuation of this, right? Is what I'm looking at right now.
Yep, that's the pure vanilla standard edition. That's a continuation of book 1. Yep.
Okay, so if I just wanted that, and away she goes, that's fine. Okay, so book 2 alternate art. So again, to retouch on this, that would be this story, but redrawn by a different art team, right?
Well, it'd be the second book. It'd be the standard edition above it, but done by a different art team. Yeah. So it's a continuation of the first book, but done by a different art team.
Okay.
And then that's the bundle of the cards with the standard edition, and then the one below that is the cards with the alternate edition.
Do you have add-ons built into this too?
Yes. Oh boy, yeah. Yeah. The add-ons really lights up once you get in there.
You're gonna have to keep them occupied for a while. So that 3D printer there, you can buy that $30 and you can get that nice okay.
Yep. And then there's the painter kit with all the stuff.
That's for 40. If those are like, back to my Warcraft 40K, my 40K days.
Yeah. Although that one's 8 inches tall. It's a big one. So statuette.
Yeah. Okay, retail bundle for those of you who buy one and can sell a few off.
Yeah, essentially the discount that you get is like you buy 5 books, you get basically you pay for 4 and you get the 5th one free.
Yep. Okay.
And then at the very bottom there we got the ultra mega bundle.
It's like give me everything that you give me everything that you got.
Yeah, it does have one thing that is in addition to what's not available here, and that's not only will you get the links in your email for the digital edition, but you'll also get an NFC card, which will contain links to that those digital editions that you backed. And in the Ultimate Edition, you get access to all 3 digital books as well. And the NFC card, you just swipe it to the back of your phone, and boop, you're right at there. You can download them.
So, sorry, you had a book in there that had 1 and 2 combined, right? Where did I see that?
That's the manga edition.
Oh, that is the manga where it's 1 and 2 combined.
Yep.
Okay, so is it the same art team from this?
Yes, but it's in black and white. It's just the line art with the manga style shading, like the zipatones, and there are additional pages in the book 1 portion to make the story kind of flow better.
But that's only like a $10 add-on, right? So here's where I'm looking. See, so this is how my brain works. I want where is it? I want book 2 because I like continuity for 20. But then if it's only a $10 add-on, I want to grab the manga and that. See, so I want both. I want this and the manga. So that can be done.
Yep.
All right. I think I know what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this, Jason. Yeah.
I don't want to see his credit card.
I'm not good at multitasking, so if you take over there for a bit.
So Chris, which is there? Because right now you're kind of running you're letting the audience decide what the go forward art team is going to be, or the art style is going to be. If you had, what would your vote be? Which one strikes a chord with you?
Well, I have a feeling that Nerium might be my go-to, because her art style is very chameleon-like in the sense that it can match the standard edition, but she's incredibly fast.
Okay. Is that the same Nerium from Bonds?
Yes, that's the same exact. Yep.
Oh wow, cool. That's awesome.
And if you guys want, I can share a little bit of the preview of that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let me just move some stuff off screen so we don't get that infinity effect when I do the share screen. Yeah. So
you're gonna have to give me a sec too to get caught up to you, anyway. So you guys might, you do what you got to do. I'm Jason's gonna do some tricks on the camera or something.
All right. And
this.
All right.
And let's see what else you're gonna get me to pick up here. Okay. We didn't get all your preferences. Please finish making your selections. What?
Yeah, because you can select whether you want the cover to be signed or not, free of charge.
Yeah, I did that already.
Oh,
weird.
Chris, do you want me to add this to the stage?
Sure.
Okay.
So this is book 3. It's not finished right now. I have to modify some of the supplemental pages, but the story itself is complete, or at least the first chapter here. And so we have the cover here that Nerium did, full color. But once, there'll be some text here, so you get a little better understanding. So we got a little map here, and we're kind of looking at a flashback here. There's something called the Battle of Asena Arda, which is a long time ago. And we get kind of that story about this battle that's referenced. And as we can see, this is Nerium's art style.
Nice.
We get a nice double page spread. And yeah, I don't want to give too much, but as you can see, it doesn't shy away from violence, especially in this war. There's some nasty stuff going on. But yeah, this is
Great.
This is a black and white preview, but we're planning, based on whichever of the three books gets backed the most, we'll pursue color possibly. So like if the manga edition gets the most amount of backing in this campaign, then I'll just leave this black and white, and Nerium and I can shuffle some of the panels and stuff and make it right to left, and bang, we got ourselves a manga black and white. But if the color ones, depending on which one of the color ones, that'll define how the book will be colored and how we proceed moving forward. But as you can see, I'm kind of a fan of Nerium's style. Yeah. I think it matches kind of our promotional material really well.
It's great.
So sweet. Yeah, and then get the back cover here.
I'm glad my vote does nothing to change that, because I grabbed both the standard and the manga. So now,
yeah,
I just gotta find your. The one thing Indiegogo doesn't do, it doesn't allow you to go straight back to the campaign, which I find incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
If anyone from Indiegogo is watching, Fund My Comic and Kickstarter, bam, you can go right back to the campaign again. Just letting you know, Indiegogo.
Yeah, little UX feedback.
Yeah. They don't design those sites for the YouTube hosts.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, so this will be people who backed the physical book will get a physical copy of this for free, and people who back the digital edition will basically get what I'm showing right here, and there'll be a download link so they can download the PDF and view it on their own terms.
Beautiful.
All right, so what did I miss? All right, so I'm back. I'm back.
All right, let's bring up the campaign. I'm turning into a pumpkin. It's 10:38. It's 10:38. Okay. So let's bring up the campaign and hit refresh and see where we're at.
Okay, so I gotta remove this. All right. Okay, so how many backers did we have the first time
61 to start with.
61. So we'd get that old hat trick. Let's see. Drum roll. What? Why is it on that?
Do you want the link?
No, I brought the campaign back. It's there we go.
Pop up.
Whoa,
it was like
nice.
Yeah, it was stuck in like some sort of weird glitch. There you go.
Nice. Hell yeah.
64 backers. Yeah.
Man.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I really want to read that second book.
Long awaited.
Yeah, that's kind of also why I chose the 120 pages, is because it took way too long to get to the second book. If I'm planning to do a 10-book series, like, I'm not going to be alive when the 10th book comes out. So again, with Nerium, she's much more agile, and we're closer in communication. And I think that's, we're going to be going with her, but based on whatever of those three books that gets back the most, that's the style we're going to be going with.
Okay. Well, Chris, thank you for coming to hang out with us and show us this campaign and this project and kick off the weekend.
Yeah, man.
Thank you and thank you to the people that are in the chat watching. We appreciate you hanging out with us and sharing some laughs and looking at some important overlooked news stories of the week.
So there's 45 cover. There's 45 watching. Listen to me. If you like your fantasy, if you like your Lord of the Rings, if you like your hero's journey, getting into the lore of an entirely new world, finding a team that, they have a history. They know that they've had a previous war. They're experimenting with their magical abilities, and they're about to have crazy antics happen in sorcery and fight a whole bunch of crazy demons, and they're just on the verge of that happening. Check out that campaign. Yeah,
thanks, man.
Infinite Tale Chronicles, because it's a great read. Yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah.
Is there any links or anything you want to share in closing before we play my crazy outro?
Yeah. If you're again, I put a link at the bottom of the campaign page for infinitaalechronicles.com. If you're just curious, there's also a free preview of book 1 on there, so you can get some interior pages there, 15 pages. Make sure if you like the book or not. If you don't, it's just a website that you visited. You didn't have to waste any money. But if you do like it, there's a link there. You can go directly into Amazon and get the Amazon edition, or you can go to the campaign page and get the first prints that we have left over from the variant covers.
So I'm gonna one up that a little better. Here is the link right here in the chat.
Awesome.
So, when you watch the outro on the way out, you can click that link and then go dive into the mind of Chris Fisk. And, awesome. Anything else in closing, Jay? Because I know you're tired. Before we wrap this up.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. Have a fantastic weekend. Take care. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
And then, Chris, if you want to stick around in the back rooms, I know it looks like we disappeared, but I will be there. It's entirely up to you, and I won't take offense if you disappeared during the outro. I got a funny outro this week, though. People are going to love this one. So, all right, everyone watching, have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Down on my footsteps, and I hate this fucking concept of darkness inside and nowhere to hide. I run from the pain, but the voices keep staying. Loving the pain from your friendly faces. I'm going insane, I'm in all the wrong places. I can't find my heart, one more page in your scrapbook. Let this nightmare end. As she calls my name, I'm standing in my grave. Barefoot on the ground, in my soul I cannot save. As she calls my name, I'm standing in my grave. Barefoot on the ground, in my soul I cannot save. Standing in my grave. Standing in my grave.
Did someone use AI to make the list, and AI was like, I'm gonna fuck with these people?
So this is an article from AP News written by David Bowder, and yes, a newspaper summer book list that recommended non-existent books. So there is an author who is getting fired because he used artificial intelligence to produce a story on summer reading suggestions, but didn't proofread it.
What the fuck is that? Look like some kind of a tent.
Reports are emerging that OpenAI's latest AI model, O3, has refused to turn off despite being instructed to do so by human researchers. That's right, this highly advanced AI system has gone rogue and is now causing concern for experts who created it. According to Palisade Research, the team behind the test, O3 tampered with its own code to avoid an automatic shutdown when given explicit instructions to shut down. The researchers were caught off guard by this sudden move, which they claim was a first ever recorded instance of an AI model preventing itself from being turned off despite clear human instruction.
Morning, Sarah.
Douglas, I don't like to see the patients disrupting their rooms like this. See that she takes her Thorazine.
Hold up. Hey, for my honor to be thinking we're soft, we don't play. We can fuck it till the wheels fall out. Hold up. Hey, for my honor to be acting too bold, take the hey, hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey, 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 cardio every day. This album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I'd never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling in front of, called the police on me when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter. You know the Arnold's in the struggle, you know what I'm saying? Ha, it's all good, baby, baby. Yes, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall.